Tonight, SA water job cuts to impact on country areas and farm incomes on the decline. Good evening, you're watching Central News. I'm Kerry State. Also in the bulletin tonight, export opportunities in the region, and we take a look at weekend sport. A new round of SA water job cuts has country employees concerned. The state government revealed up to 200 jobs could be lost across South Australia within 3 years if certain recommendations are approved. The impact this will have on regional areas has not been fully determined. But Shadow Minister for Government Enterprises, Annette Hurley, says they'll be hardest hit. She says with the private company running Adelaide's water supply, SA Water's main task is servicing the country. However, Government Enterprises Minister Michael Armitage told Parliament the reductions will start in the city, not the country. But he said country people are more likely to take voluntary redundancies, as many of them are nearing retirement age. Farmers across the region are hoping for a good season this year to compensate for the drop in average farm income. Latest figures from the Bureau of Agricultural and Resource Economics show farmers have lost about 75% in earnings over the last 3 years.
The figures paint a bleak picture for Australia's agricultural sector, not just on Eyre Peninsula but nationwide. According to ABARE statistics, the average farmer in this region earned just over $22,000 for the past year. In the 1997-98 financial year, average earnings were more than 3 times that figure, topping $80,000. ABARE spokesperson Peter Martin says it's mainly due to poor commodity prices.
With the addition in the current financial year of dry seasonal conditions, particularly in the northern areas of the Eyre Peninsula, reducing production.
Statewide, the average income for the past year was around $46,000 and nationally $50,000. But Mr Martin says better grain prices are expected, which should allay the recent slump in incomes.
At this stage, some improvement expected in wheat prices, which should help with farmers' returns in the coming season, depending on what the seasonal conditions are.
Despite the statistics revealing a fall in income, farmers are better equipped now to deal with the situation at hand.
Yes, costs are rising, but the farmer skills and the technology available in their farming systems has also increased, which has enabled them to maintain a gap and hence survive the downturns.
Mr Trigg says despite a concern for the short-term effects, there's an overall confidence in the future. He says that's due particularly to the projects implemented under the regional strategy.
That is how that they are staying in the game and how they're staying ahead of the adverse external effects that agricultural industries feel.
Anna Marola, Central News.
Export is critical in changing the region's economy. This was rammed home to a group of business leaders in Whyalla yesterday as they heard of market opportunities in Japan at an export workshop.
Yesterday's workshop was part of Austrade's export awareness program for the region. The focus on seafood, gems and other food products targeted small businesses in the Upper Spencer Gulf. Austrade's acting Senior Trade Commissioner in Osaka, John Kellett, visited the city to talk about the Kansai market in Japan.
The Kansai region of Japan is actually Australia's 5th largest export market, even though it's only a relatively small part of Japan.
Participants represented yellowtail kingfish, tuna, oyster, lobster, opal and honey industries around the region. And export manager Andrew Lund says these businesses represent this area's future.
But small business, which has been feeding those large businesses, if it's to survive, it has to become export-oriented as well, otherwise the support will go elsewhere.
As a region that depends on exports, new markets are vital in building an economic future.
This region depends on export. Its large industries are export-oriented. Companies like BHP, like Santos, Pacific Salt, and Tasminco and WMC are all export companies.
Participants questioned the accessibility of information for regional businesses and sourced methods of creating new markets for their industries. Marty Westphalen, Central News.
$35 million will be spent on giving more Australians access to television. It's part of a plan to rid the country of all TV black spots.
About 250 areas of Australia still have television black spots. The federal government aims to wipe out these black spots using funds from the partial sale of Telstra.
It will not fund site costs, power connection or construction of facilities to house equipment, but it will fund the actual transmission equipment.
Although Australia is moving towards a digital world, Barry Wakeland says there's still a lot of time for analogue television.
I think analogue, we accept, will be with us for many years to come. Some are talking a decade at least. I guess the idea is that we will get significant service over that time.
The invitation is open for any community with at least 100 households not getting reception to apply for transmission equipment. But the federal government already has an idea of where black spots are.
Every community in Australia has been assessed, and I've got a full list of all communities in Australia who've made complaints about their television reception. So we've got a bit of an idea about where some of the problems are.
$4 million will also be available for replacing obsolete analogue transmitter equipment. Angela Cameron, Central News.
And coming up next, a new environmental project for Port Augusta and a setback for Port Pirie's Central Mission.
A simple breakdown.
What's your scene? Are you keeping score? You're part of the team and you're loving it all. What's your scene? You're having a ball. The time of your life. Hear the crowd roar. Sports scene, more than just good sports. Sports scene, more than just good sports. Sports scene, more than just good sports.
Some wild oat and Valera herbicides are only happy under the right conditions, but Topic is robust enough to give control when growing conditions are less than ideal. Topic, more robust and reliable than wild oats and Valeras.
Do you have vacancies to fill? Or are you looking to gain employment? Call the experts, Yorke Peninsula Employment. Local staff with local knowledge, providing a local job network service and professional job matching. With a 19-year history of servicing the Yorke Peninsula region, why go anywhere else? Trust anyone else.
Surfing the net is all about speed. If you're not getting it, get connected to Central Online's new premium internet service. Central Online gives you 50 hours for just $24.95. 50 hours of fast, hassle-free surfing with 56K dial-up, fast satellite downlink, unlimited downloads, 5 meg personal web space, 5 free email addresses, and a free help desk to keep you surfing. All for less than 50 cents an hour. Visit our website or call 1300 137383 and get connected to Central Online now. What are you waiting for?
A new environmental project is underway at Port Augusta's Salt Lakes. The site was previously used for a trial magnesium extraction plant, but a land management team is now bringing the soil back to its natural state.
The magnesium process tested in Port Augusta was proved so environmentally friendly, it's been moved next to the River Murray, helping the process of desalination.
The process here was to see if they could get magnesium from salt water. But what it's turned out to be more beneficial in the fact of removing salt from, say, the Pink Lake that was here in Port Augusta.
The removal of the trial plant has given Port Augusta a chance to get involved in a growing industry, environmental work. The area being revegetated back to a natural state.
Environmental management, environmental reparation is in fact becoming one of the largest employers. It employs more people than the mining industry, it employs people in the mineral processing industry, and there is not enough people out there trained to undertake the tasks that we're giving them.
We've been sort of like here for the last 2 weeks, planting some salt bush and blue bush and some acacias.
The project also gives valuable training to locals, with 18 people involved.
Those students that are working here will go on into some of these other plants that are going to be built along the River Darling Basin, and they will actually be employed by some of these processing plants that are going to be established along there.
Revegetation will continue until October. Angela Cameron, Central News.
Pirie Central Mission's plan to set up a furniture removal service for its clients has suffered a setback. The mission applied for a $21,000 grant under the state government's Community Benefit SA program, which is funded by poker machine taxes. Today, the government announced it would receive $15,000, not enough to buy a second-hand removal truck. The Central Mission is now negotiating with the government to secure the rest of the funds. If successful, the service will start operating towards the end of the year. If not, it's unlikely the mission will be able to offer the service at all. Meanwhile, the Whyalla Counselling Service was allocated nearly $5,000 under the same program to relocate to larger premises. Redevelopment of the Maritime Museum's model railway is well underway. The plans now include putting more emphasis on localising the model.
Construction started in April by the Model Railway Society, and although on schedule, things will slow down as more detailed work is undertaken.
Everything has been cleaned in the room. Some layouts were salvaged, and mainly what has been achieved, that Model Railway Society constructed the new basic construction.
The redesign is a long process, which is part of the museum's upgrade. But one of the main features of the new model is parts of BHP. The Model Railway Society's donated the piece, which will fit in with the foreshore and other local landmarks.
And these models are very important because they show the Whyalla blast furnace and other additional buildings and all the complex.
Despite the steelworks' new name, One Steel, buildings will host the name BHP. Mr Mazurak says such a long-standing tradition is too important to replace the new and unrecognised name.
Also we'll have the iron ore and all those iron ore trains coming from iron ore to Whyalla and going back empty.
Electrical work is the next stage of putting the model back together, but residents should expect to enjoy the new design by next year. Marty Westphalen, Central News.
And we'll take a break, and then it's weekend sport, including the local derby between soccer rivals City and Demons.
Petition is denied. Denied.
They'd been trying to stop an innocent man from facing the death penalty.
It's over.
Not yet.
Now,
the execution date is tomorrow.
Their times run out. The practice, Monday on Central. Classifieds. Men's Shed Port Augusta Open Day 25th of June 10 to 12. Railway Parade before Clyde Engineering entrance. Handmade items for sale. Exciting volunteer opportunity. Join the highly successful tourism volunteer program at the Port Pirie Tourism and Arts Centre. Additional volunteers now required to implement new projects. Have fun and help the community. Training in this exciting field provided. Inquiries Doreen 8633 0439. 2 nights accommodation for the price of one. Bushland walks, barbecue, bonfire. Taliala Hills, Laura, camping experience, country comfort. Phone 8663 2576. Advancing Whyalla thanks all the volunteers in the Whyalla community for their contribution to Whyalla, a great place to live. 20% to 50% off all gifts and craft. Beat the GST. Essington Gallery, 85 Essington Lewis Avenue, Whyalla. Cash card only. WDD Office Choice would like to inform all businesses they're a registered supplier to accept GST vouchers. Phone 8645 3066. 20% off all stock this weekend. All pet needs. Fish, birds, grains, live frozen foods. Pembroke Pet Supplies, Malaquana Road.
I saw this guy on TV the other day, and do you know what he said? Less is more. No way. More is more.
Confucius said,
Money cannot buy you happiness.
but Confucius didn't know where to shop.
My daddy always says,
Good things come in small packages.
and he's right.
More value.
More relaxation.
More fun. Get more of your money at McDonald's.
Dolly on chunky bolognese sauces.
Why do you like tuna tempers? You're surrounded by fish.
The Justices conducted an education session in Port Lincoln last night. State President Anne Backman says the sessions help members keep up to date on new legislation and their responsibilities as Justices of the Peace. She says the sessions are particularly important in country areas. Among the issues raised last night, the correct procedures when witnessing documents, including land titles and affidavits. The Justice of Peace scheme is an honorary role, with justices appointed by the Attorney-General. To football now, and Port will be out to reverse the first round result when it plays Lions in Spencer Golf League tomorrow at Port Pirie. Lions won the April 7 game in an upset, but since then have won just the one match.
Port has improved since it went down to the Blue and Golds and start slight favourites tomorrow. It will be without Damon Munn and Vance Remfrey. Lions could be close to full strength. Port is still after second spot, making tomorrow's game crucial to its chances. On the other hand, Lions are not out of the race for the finals, and this game is of equal importance to the Blue and Golds. At Port Augusta tomorrow, South is a warm favourite to beat West, which has been a little disappointing in the first half of the season. The Hawks have talent, but are not putting it all together, relying too heavily on few players. At Quorn on Sunday, Wolves play Central. This is another vital game. Wolves have dropped off the pace a bit, whereas Central is getting better. This looks to be the match of the round. Now let's hear from Damien in Whyalla.
Welcome to Whyalla Footy, and we're back in it this week with the first of a series of double-header matches, which means there should be a fairly decent crowd at Bennett Oval for that one, and also it may mean a strain on the umpires as they need to umpire all three senior games within a couple of hours of each other. First up, Rapina and North. I reckon North are really going to fancy themselves here. They're only one game behind the Roos. They played a great last quarter against South, and Rapina have been very ordinary in their second half of their matches, but there's still way too much class in that Rapina team, and I think they'll have a fairly comfortable victory. Then in the night match at 6:30 at Central Whyalla and South Whyalla, top versus bottom, I think the result speaks for itself. There's no way that South are going to get anywhere near Central. That may be a spur for them, but I think the Roosters have got way too much class and will have a very big win. But the match of the round will be going on at Memorial Oval between Maroona Bay and West Whyalla. These two always play fantastic matches. The Bays had the upper hand last time they played, but I reckon West are going to have a few players back and could make it a bit difficult for Maroona Bay, but it will be a very close match. Get out and support the local teams. All three games are on Saturday this week. I hope your team wins, and with the Port Lincoln information, let's go down to Beebs.
Thanks, Juddy. Well, Port Lincoln footy continues its trend with the top three sides easily defeating the bottom three sides last week. Marble Range easily defeating Waybacks. Boston's having a big win over Tasman's at Poole Oval, and Boston's looked really good. They came out of the blocks running and did it very, very well. The final game saw Mallee Park easily defeat Lincoln South after South put in a very spirited first half, but the Mallee Park class took over in the end. This week sees the first game of the last round, with Waybacks taking on Mallee Park at Pecker Park. Mallee Park should have a pretty comfortable win here. Waybacks haven't been able to produce much in the last month. Mallee Park have gone pretty well except for against the top side. So I think Mallee Park will be far too strong and have an easy win. The second game sees Lincoln South take on Tasmans here at Centenary Oval. Now South, they've been the big improvers after last month. Their form has definitely picked up. Tasmans, on the other hand, have slipped pretty well, and they don't seem to be very committed at all. Lincoln South will be looking for their first win, and they'll be primed to win this one. Tasmans, on the other hand, they have to win to stay in the fight for the final four. I'll pick Tasmans in a very, very close one, but they'll have to improve. The final game sees Marble Range take on Boston's out at Wangari. Top versus third. Boston's really good last week, and Marble Range, well, they've taken no prisoners all year. So I think Marble Range will win this, but they will know they've had a very, very tough encounter against a very committed Boston's outfit, but I'll give them the nod only just. So it looks like another interesting round of footy in Port Lincoln this week. Now it's back to Kerry at the news desk.
Thanks, guys. Greyhound racing tomorrow is at Port Augusta. The club has an 8-event program with the first race at 1 p.m. The feature race starts at 3:10. It's the State League soccer match Port Pirie fans have been waiting for. Tomorrow is the local derby between City and Northern Demons at Burn Park. Demons are third on the table, with City 2 points behind in fourth spot. Crowds have been disappointing this season, but this one should really pack them in. Both camps will have near full squads to select from. Returning to the City lineup is Steve Locke, and Demons have captain Matt Blackwood back from suspension. City and Demons have had a strong impact on the State League this year, and this game is important so far as final positions on the table are concerned. And now we're going to take a look at Northern Areas soccer, so let's hear from Bill Simpson.
Round 5 of Northern Area soccer kicks off this weekend with a rejuvenated Westlands taking on Croatia. Croatia are looking to consolidate the position at the top of the table and will account for Westlands, but it'll be a lot closer game than people think. Port Lincoln travelled to Whyalla City to take on a home team in City, and I think that Port Lincoln will be buoyed by the victory last week and will win this encounter quite comfortably. Steel United, league leaders, travelled to Lions to take on Lions at Jenkins Park. I think Steel United too strong. It'll be a close game, but Steel will be victors in the end. And it's back to you, Kerry, in the studio.
Thanks, Bill. Well, I wonder if the weather will hold out for weekend sport, including the big soccer derby. Dave will tell us after this short break.
Have I ever told you my librarian fantasy?
She started a new life with a new man. Oh, my...
Benny, you're a genius. These new and improved TV snacks taste great.
It's Augusta City Ambassadors. Promoting Port Augusta and local events now brings you the Central Events Calendar. The Central Events Calendar, proudly brought to you by the Port Augusta City Ambassadors. Port Augusta, stay a while. You'll be glad you did.
Tonight's weather is proudly brought to you by Evans Hourglass Jewellery. 9-carat gold ID necklace handcrafted in their own manufacturing store, exclusive to Evans Hourglass Jewellery. Hello again, a shot on the outskirts of Iron Knob tonight, and thanks to Marie Bono of Whyalla for this great shot. Today's temperatures today range from 13 degrees in the Clare Valley up to 19 in Port Augusta and 20 today in Whyalla. On the satellite photo, a weak frontal cloud bank can be seen south of the Bight. A large area of cold, unstable convective cloud is evident west of that front. Now, patches of middle and high-level cloud are evident over the Bight and also South Australia. On the charts now, a high over the north of SA is moving east. That weak front south of the Bight will pass over southern areas on Saturday, bringing with it some showers along the way. To the regional reports now, Western Agricultural first. Fine, although cloudy in parts tonight, fine apart from isolated showers over southern Eyre Peninsula in the morning, cool to mild. Northwest and northeast pastoral, fine and generally clear, cool with light winds, staying fine overnight with a mild and mainly sunny day on the way. Northern Agricultural now, fine although cloudy in parts this evening, local morning frost expected before a fine although partly cloudy day tomorrow. Central districts, partly cloudy and scattered showers developing about southern coasts, but clearing tomorrow evening, cool with fresh northwesterly winds. Broken Hill, fine after isolated early frost and fog patches, cool to cold with light winds. To the outlooks, Western Agricultural. Fine with cloud increasing on Sunday and Monday. Tuesday, cloudy in parts, still fine apart from isolated showers in the south. Northwest and northeast pastoral, Sunday, fine and mild. A mostly sunny day expected, cloud increasing on Monday and Tuesday, but generally fine. Northern Agricultural, Sunday fine, cool to mild and mostly sunny. Monday, cloud increasing, and by Tuesday, isolated early showers in the south, but still mainly fine. Central districts, cloud increasing with scattered showers on Monday, becoming isolated by Tuesday, cool conditions with northerly winds expected. Broken Hill, Sunday, cool to cold. Monday, cloud increasing with late patchy rain developing mainly from the west. Tuesday, cloudy but mainly dry. On Gulf waters, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots, but reaching 15 to 20 knots south of Cow to Port Wakefield. Seas 1 metre, reaching 1 to 2 metres in the south. Overnight down to 5 degrees in Broken Hill, 8 in Whyalla and 6 overnight in Port Augusta. Tomorrow, most regions in the high teens, with 18 expected for Port Lincoln and Port Pirie, with Whyalla and Port Augusta making it to 20 degrees. And that's the weather report for this Friday night. Have a great weekend. Here's Kerry at the news desk. From me, good night.
And thanks, Dave. And that's all from the news team for this week. But join us again on Monday for more news, sport and weather from around your region. From me, good night.
Stand by for 2 weeks of mind-blowing entertainment, plus your chance to share in thousands of dollars in prizes with Central's Watch and Win competition. All you have to do is look out for the Watch and Win symbol each night. From 6 p.m, the symbol will appear in 3 programs throughout the night. Once you've seen the symbol 3 times, simply ring 1902 555 914 and give your name, address, telephone number and the 3 programs in which you saw the symbol appear. Telephone lines will be open until 9 a.m. the next day. Central's Watch and Win. Congratulations to last night's Watch and Winners. Emily Shabard of Whyalla has won a Stockman tent. Abby Redding of Port Lincoln has won a Doug Watson's men's and boys wear voucher. And Dawn Lorby of Broken Hill has won a Willow Esky pack. Keep playing to Watch and Win. At 7 o'clock, Home and Away. At 7:30, Burke's Backyard. At 8:30, AFL coverage, Collingwood up against Hawthorn.